Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm actually on stream right now, and so I got a chat here I'm talking with a little bit, but we just built a Budget Unkillable team, but what I wanted to show you guys is the skill prioritization affecting the way this run happens. And I'm super excited about this because it makes everything so much easier, not only to set it up and get in tune, but also to utilize the full strength of these champions. And so we're going to highlight one of the best stun target, actually the best stun target champion for the Budget Unkillable. It's going to be Rowan. Void champion, low defense, decent HP, good damage. You can use Giant Slayer on her, and she brings poison. It's just a fantastic champion for this. I am going to have a game on video down below. I'm going to show you guys how the skill prioritization, how you can set up your teams and really optimize them with this new mechanic. So hopefully it makes your teams a lot easier to run both on auto, or if you're just late to pressing auto, and also how to maximize the skills of your champion. So I'll have that in the little game on video down below. You'll see that in the description and the comment of this video, pinned comment of this video. But before I get too far in, I do want to thank out my Patreons. Wayward Mystic, who I'm in the account of, is one of them. He came to me for an account takeover, and so we came in. He was doing about 4 keys on Ultra Nightmare, like almost 3 keys, but not quite there. And I think you guys are going to be really impressed with the damage that we're going to be doing. Now, we're going to show you the Nightmare run today, but I will show you the score we did on Ultra Nightmare as well, because it was very impressive. But let's go ahead, take a look at the champions, and yeah, we'll get into it. So really quick, guys, we've got so many champions that are great here. Now, the thing is, of course, who are we going to use, right? I wanted to use, and I think this is the best way to go, is to use a Void champion as your stun target, because then you can just change out the DPS champions, and that's what we want to do. So that's what we have here with Rowan. Rowan's going to be our stun target. We have her going at 117 speed. You see we got our attack up. Her HP is going to be the highest on the comp. Great accuracy. Defense is nice and low. She has great base stats for that type of stuff. 100% crit rate. It's a good mix. And the best part is we get to actually use her with Giant Slayer. Because of her skills, because she has so many multi-attack skills, we get to use her for Giant Slayer. And I'll go over that in a little bit before we get to the comp here, before we get to the build, I should say. Now, we're going to use her as our stun target, which is great. She is a little bit, she's at 117 speed here. We have to bump her to 121 to use her for Nightmare, and that's the run I'm going to show you guys right now. So all I'm going to do is swap these boots in. We don't get 100% crit rate as a result, but we do get to the speed we need to be at 121. That's what we're going to use her at right now. We also have our Man-Eater. Didn't really do a whole lot messing with him. He's a little bit low on the crit rate. We could obviously bump that up for a little bit more damage, but overall pretty solid. We also have, of course, Painkeeper here, people keeping us alive. And we can roll some stuff up, but I think this is pretty good. Second highest HP, that's always crucial. Good speed, crit rate's there. And then for our DPS champions, I wanted to build champions so no matter what affinity, we're going to be good. The 2 best champions for this are going to be Jintoro. Absolutely love Jintoro. And he is kitted out. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see him today because we had the wrong affinity clan boss. And the other one is going to be Ferrican the Fat, who is also just fantastic, bringing that ally attack, decreased defense, and poisons. Here we have him kitted out. You can see the right speed, accuracy, everything's good. So because those are our 2, we don't really have a great red affinity champion alternative. We could bring in Rosin. I think that would be good. But instead, I built up 2 poisoners. We built up our occult brawler here, so we're going to get poisons out the wazoo. And I'm really happy with this build. And we're also going to use Frozen Banshee. So depending on the affinity, we'll be able to use either Frozen Banshee or occult brawler in this comp, and everything should work just fine. So I'm really happy with this. With everybody, pretty much, I tried to go down the offense-defensive tree where I could. As you can see here with the Occult Brawler, but not everybody I could. Jintoro, I need the extra accuracy, so we went down the support tree. Ferrican, we went down the support tree. So sometimes you have to go do that in order to just get to the numbers that you need. But obviously, if you can get the counterattacks from the defensive tree, that's best. So let me show you guys a team setup, and then we'll do the run. So you can see, guys, we've got all the team set up based off the different affinity. And this is why we like to have Rowan or a Void champion as our stun target, because it allows you to just swap in the DPS and basically keep the team the same. It makes it so much easier. So basically, if I've had to build up, I built up 4 champions for DPS, but they're still usable in other areas of the game now because they're not going like 120 speed. The only champion that is going to be Rowan, our stun target. Makes this such an easy job here. And you can see some of the skill prioritizations. Now, we're facing Red Affinity. I would really love to show you guys Jintoro because he's amazing in this. But because we're facing Red Affinity, we can't bring him in. He's weak. It's not going to work. So we're going to use the Ferrican the Fat with the Occult Brawler here. And we're going to go ahead and show you exactly. Now, with Rowan, I had to prioritize the Blade Surge. That's the one we want to use. A 4-hit attack. So with Giant Slayer, that's really good. Plus 4 poisons. And then Scourge is the triple hit attack. Now, on auto, Rowan will prioritize the Slash. That's not what we want. We want the multi-attack hit. So due to skill prioritization, we can use this. And because of the cooldown with Painkeeper, because Rowan's only taking 2 turns, these are the only skills that get used. It's a wonderful combination there. Great synergy. Now, we don't need to prioritize really anything with Ferrican the Fat. We actually get so many debuffs that one of the things we can try doing, and I already did an Ultra Nightmare run. I'll show you the result afterwards. But one of the things I'm going to try doing is just not using that Brand of Shame. So we won't get the extra poisons, we won't get the HP burn, but hopefully what that means he's going to use his A1 skill, the decreased defense, so we get that out a little bit more, and that should up our damage overall. I'm hopeful. We'll see how that plays out. Occult Brawler, we eliminated the Curse Eater. So nice to be able to do that. Now every single attack is going to be placing poisons, exactly what we want. And then Painkeeper, we can prioritize the combat tactics for the cooldown and the spectacular sweep. There's a thing where sometimes Painkeeper won't use this A2, the healing ability, if people aren't low enough health, but that'll throw off the speed. Now we don't have to worry about that. It's a wonderful thing. There used to be a thing with Maneater where he wouldn't use his A2 skill, which hits really hard if decreased attack wasn't on. Well, now we can prioritize it. Don't have to worry about that either. I'm absolutely loving the skill prioritization. I think it's one of the best things to come to this game in a very long time. Okay, so this is the team. Let's go ahead and run into that Nightmare team. Now, I do have it on Start on Auto. All the presets are for Ultra Nightmare, so I don't actually want to start on Auto today. We're going to go ahead and get the manual going because it's just slightly different doing it on Nightmare. So let's get this going here. Okay, so when we're going here on Nightmare, we do want to give Maneater that 1 turn delay so that he puts everything up at the right moments here. Just make sure I have everything right. Yep, so we're going to give him that 1 turn delay, get that A2 going, hit it a little bit hard. And then we're going to go ahead and start with Painkeeper's A3 to cool everything down. Here goes Occult Brawler. It's just going to be A1 all day with that guy. And then we're going to go ahead and get Ferrican the Fat rolling here. Doesn't really matter. The DPS skills are just the DPS skills. That's not what we're concerned with. We're concerned with getting Maneater and getting Painkeeper all tuned up. So we're just going to go ahead and use Rowan skills best we can. We need to get Maneater's Unkillable. Boom. Here we go with Painkeeper. Now we do need to delay a little bit Painkeeper's A2 ability. So A1 here. And you can see we're already filling up that debuff bar with poisons. It's a pretty great squad as far as that part goes. We'll just go ahead and add a little bit more. I know we weren't going to, but why not? There we go. Maneater goes. Boom, boom, boom. Excellent. All right, now A1 here with Painkeeper. The next skill Painkeeper needs to do is our A2. Remember, we prioritize the skills. So at this point, all we have to do is click auto and we're good to go. Hands off. The team's going to run just like we want. You can see right here after Ferrican goes, there goes a spectacular sweep. We got the stun going to Rowan. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The easiest setup with that skill prioritization. We don't have to worry about anything else going wrong. It's wonderful. Now, we did a pretty good job on Ultra Nightmare. I think there's a good argument to be made that this might be a one key Nightmare team. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Big part of that is getting decreased defense out. Ferrican is like a 50% chance. So if he doesn't land it, that definitely does hurt our damage. One of the reasons why we didn't prioritize his poisons and his HP burn. We're getting a lot of it already from Occult Brawler and Rowan. I think our next big priority is really with Ferrican, making sure we get that decreased defense. So we want as many chances as possible with that. So that's our goal here. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know, haven't run it on Nightmare, but hopefully we'll be doing that. So let me go ahead. Let's go ahead. We'll just jump ahead and we'll come back around turn, I don't know, 40 or so and catch the end of the run. See how we do. What happened? What happened? Did it fail? What happened? Well, guys, Even I make mistakes. Sadly, all the time, actually. But I screwed up. So I had Ferric the Fat was at 174 speed. And apparently I didn't follow my own guides. This is why you check everything in the calculator, why you check the website to make sure your speeds are right. Because I had him at 174 speed, Ferric the Fat. Needs to be 175. Needs to be 175, and because he has ally attack, actually, I have to make sure that he doesn't use his ally attack for his first 2 attacks. But as long as I do that, it works just fine. Should. So, had a nice little fail on screen. We're gonna try this one more time, and hopefully get this right here. Now that we fixed the speed, this should go just fine. So, let's try this again. Same setup, right? 1 turn delay for the Maneater, nice and easy. Get the cooldown right off the bat, easy enough. Colt Brawler's just gonna keep putting out poisons, or try to. Now, like I said, we need to wait 2 turns with this, right? So, we'll let him put out some poisons and have some fun in the beginning here, and see where we get to. Yep, we can go ahead and do our thing with Rowan there. Maneater now is gonna place the Unkillable, and we'll be in sync. Another A1 with Painkeeper. Always double checking the calculator. I cannot believe I didn't heed my own lessons. I feel pretty dumb about that right now. That's always what I tell people when they go, hey, this isn't working. I go, did you check in the calculator? It's amazing how often that doesn't happen. I am guilty of that myself. All right, now we got one more A1 here with Painkeeper. And Rowan's gonna do her triple attack. So great. Giant Slayer's so nice for damage, guys. Hoisted on my own petard, as one might say. There we go. All right, now we can do the ally attack. We waited 2 turns, now we're good. We can do this, and actually at this point we can click auto. You'll see Painkeeper's the next last to go. She's gonna use her A2 because we prioritize the skills. Always key getting those skill priorities. We can go ahead and click auto here. And now, it should work just fine for the rest of the run. So, oh boy. Yeah, let's just observe and make sure that it doesn't go out of sync. So the chat's telling me, don't walk away. Always important. Don't walk away. And this is actually a great thing. If you guys ever struggle with your team, if it ever breaks down too early, especially these unkillable teams, the best way to fix it is watch it. Watch it, see where it breaks down. Compare the turns to what's happening in the calculator. If it falls apart somewhere, now you know where exactly. You can pinpoint the location. It makes it a lot easier. But look, you can see Unkillable still on Rowan. Still on Rowan. Takes a stun. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good here. So I'm going to go ahead again. And we'll skip to the end. And if we don't skip to the end, you know I screwed up again. So should be an easy one to understand. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in a minute. And enjoy the music while we play. You guys remember when I said if I came back, it's because we failed? Because I failed. Because I did another dumb thing. Another dumb thing. So remember how I had to have Ferric the Fat did his A4 the ally attack or his A3 the ally attack at a certain time. Give it a little delay. Well, I did something really dumb. I forgot I have this mastery on him. This is why sometimes these masteries are issues. One of the 2 things I always tell people, check your masteries, check it in the calculator. I didn't do either one. I failed you all. I feel terrible about it. I feel bad about it. I should be punished. I'm going to go put myself in a corner, I think is the only reasonable solution to this. Not good, guys. Not good. But now we know what it is. So now we can fix it. And that's what we're going to do. Fix it right here. We'll take Evil Eye, because why not? And that works. Same speed, 175. Now we should be good to go. Okay. If it doesn't work this time, you're never going to see this video. Let's try it again. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. 1 turn delay. Say it with me. 1 turn delay. Cool them down. DPS, just do DPS things. Farrakhan, let's get a 1 turn delay here. Ah, decreased defense is up. That's always nice. Alright, put out some poisons, because why not? Now we can go unkillable here. Maybe I can go unkillable here. A1. Do more poison things. Great. Sure. Well, might as well just do A1. We're pretty full on poisons. There we go. Get that A2 going. Beautiful, beautiful. Now basically all we have to do is that A1. Now that we did the A1 skill, because everything else is prioritized, we can just go ahead and click auto. We don't have to worry about it, which is nice. And that should be it. Hopefully this works. Hopefully it works. We're just gonna sit here and watch for a little bit. So how do I know if this works or not? Well, basically starting here on turn count 3, the man-eater should be taking the first turn and the last turn. He took the last turn there. He did take the first turn as well, so that's good. If that changes, we're in trouble. Also, on turn count 5, right before the stun, Painkeeper should take the first turn and the last turn. You go, how do you know this? Well, calculator, I'm using it now. I'm looking at it, I'm using it, so now I know, and that's what I'm doing. How do I know that this is off? How do I know this is working? Because I'm following along with the turns that we're taking, along with the calculator. As long as those two things are working good, we're in good shape. Farrakhan the Fat's using his ally attack ability right before that second turn of Painkeeper. And that's actually really the reason why it works, is he's getting that ally attack before Painkeeper takes her second turn. So the extra turn meter boost she gets from that A1 doesn't matter, right? She's going to take that turn anyway. You can overfill a turn meter bar. That's all right. We just don't want her filling up a turn meter bar too soon, right? So that's why it works at this timing. If I change the timing, it doesn't quite work the same way. And that's why having like 2 ally attackers can be a little bit tricky, or having a counter attacker in here can be a little bit tricky as far as getting the timing right. So, looks like it's going good so far. Stun's still going to Rowan, still got that unkillable up. Here goes everybody else. It looks like it's working pretty good here. Does Man-Eater go last? Man-Eater does go last. This is pretty good. I think if we get this last stun in, I think we can pretty much confidently say that this is going to work. Let's go ahead, see this. Boom. Yep. So far, so great. Excellent. Yeah, we're not having any more issues now. It's so important getting your masteries right and checking in the calculator. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough, especially with tricky comps like this that involve a Painkeeper, involve a lot of turn meter. And there you go, Painkeeper took the second turn, the stun went to Rowan, and we are good to go. All right, at this point, I'm very confident that you will not see my face again until we have completed 50 turns and finish this run. So, I'll see you in a bit. Not too bad. I mean, look, it's not a one-key team, but it's darn close to that. And honestly, I've made a couple mistakes in this, as far as like optimizing this. I think with Farrakhan the Fat, part of the issue, he brings the decreased defense. Decreased defense is almost going to double the damage that we do from our Giant Slayer and our War Master procs. So being able to build more accuracy on him, and I'm a little bit limited on the gear for that. But if we could build more accuracy on Farrakhan, we could take him out of the support tree and then put him into the defensive tree. That would be huge for us because he would be able to get some of those counterattacks, which would give him an extra chance to place that A1 hit, which gives us the decreased defense, which would in turn give us more damage. Also, I think I experimented with this one, not using his A2 skill, the extra poisons and HP burn, just like taking that off so he just doesn't use that skill. I think in reality, it's better for him to use it. I think that would up our damage and keep a full debuff bar the entire time. But without that defensive tree, I want to make sure that we had room to land that decreased defense. And I think that is really important. So there's a couple ways we can improve this. I wouldn't say the mistakes, but a couple ways we can improve it. One other thing I would recommend, and this kind of goes with every stun target you guys have, is because they don't heal up, right? The only healing they're getting is from Painkeeper. One of the things I did here with Rowan is I took Rowan down the defensive tree. This is probably not ideal. What I would prefer to do, in truth, is take her down the accuracy tree, the support tree. And the reason why is because she's not getting counterattack anyway. That's the only reason why we go down the defensive tree. So we might as well come down this way. Not only can we take things like Lore of Steel to add more accuracy to our build, more attack to our build depending on the sets that we're using, but we can also take Master Hexer to extend the length of the debuffs, and that on its own is really big. So that's the way I would approach that. I think in the future, and how I would probably recommend anybody else does, is go down that tree, and then you're just going to get more damage as a result because those poisons are going to last a little bit longer. We're going to have a fuller debuff bar for more of the fight, and I think that's going to be more beneficial to us in the long run. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what we take here, so we can go ahead and take Evil Eye. That sounds good. So I would recommend that in the future. We could have taken Cycle Magic. It's not going to really make much of a difference for us. But yeah, I think that's going to be a better way for us to go forward with that. So if you have a Rowan, definitely take her down the support tree. I think it's going to be your best bet. And that really goes for any of your stun targets. The only healing they're getting is right before the stun. It's the only chance they have to counterattack. It's not really worth it because they're only going to have about 15-16%. It's not even enough to trigger the counterattack from the defensive tree. So you're much better off going down the support tree, extending the debuffs that you do plant, getting more accuracy so you don't have to put as much accuracy in your build. As you can see now, we have 290 on this build. We could easily take away some of these accuracy sets and go with some more attack and crit damage sets to help build up the damage that we would do long term. This is a great build. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not really going to mess with it or change anything up, but something to keep in mind. Hey, let me show you guys what we did on Ultra Nightmare too. Okay, so you can see the result we got on Ultra Nightmare. 32 million damage. Rowan over here doing 8.5. I mean, very, very effective. And this is easily going to be our worst affinity. But Rowan is just a beast, especially when you can use the skill prioritization. She's putting up those poisons every single turn. She's able to use Giant Slayer, just doing lots and lots of damage. It makes these budget teams so much easier. Plus, you don't ever have to worry about Painkeeper not using her A2 because you can prioritize that. So much to like about the skill prioritization with this team in particular. Just really, really effective. You guys can see it's so much better having the skill prioritization, being able to fully utilize these champions. A champion like Rowan typically would not have been our top damage dealer, but now she is as good as anybody out there. Being able to get 4 poisons every turn is so big as far as trying to build out your team. You can really focus on bringing in other damage dealing champions as opposed to really focusing on bringing more poisoners in. We can have a Farrakhan the Fat be our secondary poisoner. We can have a Gentoro come in and do massive amounts of damage for us. So it opens up a lot of possibilities as far as how you can build your team. That's why I recommend her so much. So yeah, using that skill prioritization just made her so much better, being able to put Giant Slayer on her. It's going to be great for a champion like Aethar as well. Definitely somebody I would recommend that for. So there's lots of ways that this can be really beneficial for us going forward. I'm really excited to try some of the classic clan boss teams we have and just bring in champions that we weren't really able to use to their full extent before. Obviously, Ragnar, Gold Gleam, Sir Nicholas are 2 of the preeminent ones, but Rowan is another one that's really going to benefit from this. So you guys are going to see over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a bunch of comps that you've probably seen before, but using some of the champions and using their skills to better showcase how good they can be in these specific types of teams. So I just want to again give you that heads up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you like the music, I've got that Soundstripe link down below. You can use my code and save 15%. Definitely recommend going and check that out. Also, I do still have that game on video. Please be sure to check that out. And that's all we got. Like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. Hit that, always lovely. And if you guys want to be a Patreon like Wayward Mystic or like these fine people, go ahead and sign up. You can see a link down below. It's on my website. It's on the it's in the description of this video. It's in the comments. It's everywhere. That's how I do all this stuff. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.